Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about asynchronous versus synchronous code in JavaScript. So let's look at that, what is different between synchronous code and asynchronous code in JavaScript. So each code in JavaScript is a synchronous code, means which used to execute line by line. So let's look at that inside our slide. Most of code is a synchronous code. Synchronous code execute line by line. Each line code waits for previous line to finish. Long running operations block code execution. So let's look at that, how to block the code execution in synchronous code. So inside that, this is my comment, don't focus on this one. So this is a call code in JavaScript, right? So it is used to run the line by line, one line, second line. In the right side you will get the execution part of the execution constant that actually execute the code in the computer CPU. This is the first one, second one, and third one. Once you see the third one, then you need to see the alert box inside your browser. Your fourth code is still pending behind the scene. It is called blocking. When you will click on the alert box, then your alert box has been closed. Once your alert box has been closed, then you will get the fourth line code or fourth line code execution inside your browser. So this is called synchronous code in JavaScript. So let's look at that asynchronous code in JavaScript. So it is used to one line, then execute the browser. This is a timeout function. When you will use timeout function, inside that have a 5-second wait. Once the 5-second wait, after that have another code execution like a paragraph, style, color, so on and so forth. The second execution is appeared when you will use the set timeout. Behind the scene have a second execution. This is called asynchronous in JavaScript. Behind the scene you will call the set timeout function. Timer is running behind the scene, and it is code is still available inside your page, right? You can't see any changes or anything else inside the browser. Once you complete the whole process, then you will get this one code or this one a code or details inside the browser. So callback run after the timer. So it is callback function. It is used to display after the timer. Asynchronous code is executed after a task that runs and background finishes. Asynchronous code is non-blocking, means you can't block the code inside the synchronous code. Inside that you can't see any blocking right now. Execution doesn't wait for any asynchronous task to finish its works. Callback function alone do not make code asynchronous. So once your code is executed, the last one inside the browser, then it should be displayed inside your browser. Means this will appear after all other codes, right? And this is a map function. Right now callback does not automatically make code asynchronous. So I will give you an example how you can use that inside your browser and how does work it practically. I will share it with you in next video. But we need to know what is Ajax and what is API. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML or Ajax is not a technology in itself, but rather an approach to using a number of existing technologies together, including HTML or XHTML, CSS, JavaScript, DOM, and so on. And most importantly, the XML HTTP request object. We will use that in practically to getting the country's result inside our page, right? I will give you an example how you can use that. When these technologies are combined In the Ajax model, web applications are able to make quick incremental updates to the user interface without reloading the entire browser page. To make the application faster and more responsive to user action, Ajax's most appealing characteristic is its asynchronous nature, which means it can communicate with the server, exchange data, and update the page without having to refresh the page. So let's look at that how Ajax works. So this is the client, and when you will hit anything else inside the browser, then request sent to the server asking some data from the server. The server send me the request, display the some data inside my browser. You can use get and post method to send the request or receive the request. Mostly we will use the web API to getting the result from the API, means weather API or map API, or you can use any API to get the result and display the result inside your page. I will give you an example on later. What is API and how do API work? What is an API? APIs are mechanisms that enable two software components to communicate with each other using a set of definitions and protocols. For example, Weather API, Google Map API, and many other APIs. The weather app on your phone talks to this system via APIs and show you daily weather updates on your phone. What does API stand for? API stands for Application Program Interface. In the context of APIs, the word application refers to any software with its distinct function. Interface can be thought of as a contract of services between two applications. The contract defines how the two communicate with each other using request and response. So let's talk about how we can use the HTTP request. Means we're going to use Ajax, and also I will give you many examples how you can get the API and how you can use that inside the JavaScript to display the content like country's name or country's detail inside your web page without reloading a page, right? So in the next video we're going to discuss all about the Ajax. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's look at that how we can use Ajax to display the data inside our browser without refreshing a page. So first I'm going to share with you the data. I'm going to uncomment that, save it, and I'm going to increase the opacity 1. So this is my output, but I will use 0, and also I'm going to comment that because I will use JS to display those data from my JS code using Ajax. So I need to create a variable, write any name as you want. I'm going to use request, use new, and use XML HTTP request, use parentheses. Once you use that, then you can use the request variable to get the data and also send the request. So you need to use request dot open. First of all, you need to get the data where you want to get the data. This is a method that I have used on there. The next one is URL, where you want to get the data. I will get the data from my API. So how you can get the API? Let's look at that. I use public API GitHub. Write this one keyword inside the search engine, then you need to open the second one link. And the second one link have a bunch of APIs, different type of APIs, but we're gonna use, I'm gonna find out REST countries like this one. So I'm gonna get that. Inside this one website have a different type of URLs like this one. You want to display all of the countries, so you can use this one URL, but I'm going to use display the name and many other things, so I'm going to get this one URL. So I'm going to get that and I'm going to paste it inside this one curly bracket. I need to add my country name like this one, USA. So I want to display those USA data inside my web page. Then the next thing is you need to use request.send method. That's it. Then you will get the data, but I need to use add event listener to display the data. So let's look at that. I'm going to use request.add event listener. Which event you will use? I'm going to use load event and run the function. Use curly bracket. This time I'm going to use console.log because I need to display the data inside the console list. So you can use this .response text, or you can use the request.response text. You can use anyone as you want, but I'm going to use this response text. So and look at that inside the console. Right now I am able to see the data has been appeared inside the console. The data is related in the US, but I want to change the country name, like I think UK, so I'm going to use UK. Right now the UK or Ukraine data is appearing inside there, but I have used United Kingdom. So right now United Kingdom, right? So once you get the data and display the data inside the console, then you can use different ways to display those data inside the console, inside your web page. So let's see how we can do that. So first of all, I need to convert those data into JSON format. So I need to create a variable const and I use data, and then you need to use json.parse, use curly bracket, and then you need to target your request.response text, and then you need to use console.log and target your data variable. Then it should be displayed as an object like this one, right? This is array. Inside the array have an object, but I also use this one is reconstruct by using just a minute, brackets. Once you use brackets, then it will display as object data like this one, as you can see, right? Once you use that, then you will get the data one by one from there. Let's say I want to get the capital data from UK, so I need to target capital. In a minute I will share with you. So I'm gonna uncomment that. I'm gonna leave this one default code, but I will use const countries container, and I'm gonna select document.query selector. I'm gonna select my countries, then I will target that and display the data inside my page. But before displaying the data inside the page, I need to create a variable const HTML and use equal sign, use backtext or literal template, you can say that. Inside that I need to get those data, but I need to uncomment that, copy it, and we need to paste inside there. Also we need to comment that, we don't need that on this time. Once you get the data and assign the data inside there, then you can use HTML variable to display the data inside your hardcode or inside your web page. But inside there we need to display some content, like I want to display the image of the particular country, I want to display the country name, I want to display the region, and so on and so far. So you can get those data from there. So let's look at that. So I want to get the image like this one right now, as you can see, but I will change the version. like this one. I just changed the version 2 because the latest version is have a lot of new things. This is the previous version of the API. Inside there have a flag, so you can use the flag, then you will get the image right now, as you can see. And you can use name, you will get the country name like United Kingdom of Great Britain and so on and so forth. So let's change a few things inside our page. So I want to display the data like image, so I need to use $ curly brackets. So I need to target my data like this one and use dot flag. Means flag means where, means image of the particular country. The next one is I need to display the country data, country name, so I need to use data.name. Region, so I need to use $ data region, like that. So those keys have been appeared inside there, so let's look at that. So data name like this one, and in a minute I will show it to you the region, where it is region like there, as you can see, region. So I use those data inside there. So you need to target your particular array. Inside that have a particular value, right? So let's use that as a people. So I'm going to use data dot population, right? And inside the language and currency we need to change few things. So like languages, inside the languages have a different type of formats. So I need to target only name, means have a different type of countries, have a different type of languages like Portuguese, French and so on so far. So I need to target that as a $ data dot languages, and then you need to use array 0, means the current 0 means this one, and inside they have a name. So whatever the name is, have a countries, so we will get the different type of languages. So you can use same thing inside there, but this time I'm going to change it as a currencies. So save and have a same currencies format on the like the, as you can see, currencies have a 0 index, and the 0 index have a name like this one. So I just target the particular name. So whatever the currency is of USA, whatever the currency is of British, and whatever the currency of Portuguese or Portugal. So I'm going to close that. Right, once you done that, then I want to display those data inside my page. So what I need to do on there, I need to target my this one variable, and I need to use insert add agents and HTML, and we need to use before and we need to pass the HTML variable like this one. Also we need to change the opacity, so the default opacity is 0, but when it will display, then I need to change the opacity as startup opacity as 1. So first we're gonna save it, and okay, I can't see right now in a minute what happened. Just a minute, I'm gonna check that. What? Just a minute, guys. This is the style. So right now, as you can see, guys, the data has been appeared inside my page. United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and this is the population, languages English, and currency is British pound. but I will change the country name like USA. So look at that. You don't need to change anything else inside your page. We just assign the few things like flags, name, region, and inside the languages or language and currencies, I've used a particular index number. Inside the index number have a particular name that have a different type of currencies, different type of languages. So let's type I think yes, perfect. So let's convert that into function, and we're gonna call the function multiple times, and we're gonna assign the different type of countries data, means countries name, to display the different countries data inside our console, inside our web page. So I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna use const, and I'm gonna pass in the parameter inside that and use paste all of the code. But you need to get this one country parameter inside that. You need to use just a minute. I need to cut that, and I need to use backtext. Paste that. The next thing you need to add that little template, means dollar, and passing this one parameter like that. So just you need to call this one function outside of this one code and write the country name like USA. So right now, as you can see, same result, but the data has been converted as inside the function. So let's add another United Kingdom. So right now, as you can see, what is the fourth? And yeah, perfect. So this is usage of Ajax. Without reloading your page, your data has been appeared inside your web page. So United States, Euro, Portuguese, British Pound, and so on so forth is appeared inside our console, inside our web page. So this is usage of API, and this is usage of XML HTTP request to get the data from API and display the data inside your web page. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, guys. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about how we can add multiple requests inside our multiple events. Let's say, so here is our function, and this is the first one request that send to the API and get the result from the API as a country. But I want to display that the particular country neighbor inside our web page. So what I need to do on there, I need to send another request with API, and we need to get another result from the API, right? So what I need to do on there, I need to send many requests, like first one is like that, and I will create another request to send the request and get the data. So let's look at that, how we can do that, right? So first of all, I will comment this one complete code, because it is very important to use that many times. And I also get this one area, and I'm gonna uncomment that callback. I use that, right? The next thing is you need to get this one. So, and I'm gonna use const create a function, and I'm gonna paste this one code inside there, passing the parameter like data, and yeah, perfect. So, and we need to call this one function inside my that. Then you will call this one function, you will get the same result that we have seen on earlier, like this one, right? What happened on there, I just grab the complete code inside the function, just call the function. So you can call this one function many times as you want inside the any code as you want, inside any event. let's say this is the first one event, but I will add another event inside there. I can just call the function. Remember that. Okay, so let's do the another work on that. So I will use the first we're gonna save it. I go to console and I will get the neighbor. So in a minute I will find out where is region, like this one, borders. So I will get the borders, which country border is nearby. Let's say United States have two borders, Canadian and Mexico. So I want to display the particular country border or particular country data in the right side or neighbor in the right side. So what I need to do on there, I will target the borders property, and the value will get that from the zero index. In the zero index have a Canada, right? So I need to call the, after that, get neighbor country. So I need to use const neighbor, and I'm going to use data. I need to target my same data variable that have a complete data, like complete API's data inside the data variable. So you need to target that, and after that you need to use borders. But inside the borders have two options, 0 and first one, which data you want to get that. So I just use in the zero index means first one. I just display the first one neighbor of the particular country. So let's look at that inside the console. I'm going to use neighbor save, and right now I'm able to see can means Canada. So it is code wise data is appear inside that. So we're going to use same tactics that we have used on earlier, like this one, but inside there I will get the country code. So here's the name, but we need to change that as a code. So let's look at that, how we can do that. Ajax call to const request to. When I add another request inside the first one request, right? So this is the first one request, and this is the event. Inside that I'm gonna add another request, XML HTTP request, and I'm gonna use const, no const. I'm gonna target request to open get, and you need to open this from website, and I will share with you how you can get that country's code. So you need to go on down, and this is the name right now, but I need to get the code like this one, as you can see. So you need to get this one URL, and you need to paste it. But I'm going to use version 2.0, or you can set that too. Inside this one code, I need to pass this one variable. So let's look at that. So I use, but I need to also use a literal template, that, and dollar, and I'm passing this one there on there, right? Then I need to use request to dot send. Once you've done that, then I will use the add event listener inside the request to. So call the request to dot add event listener, which event, load event, run the function, curly bracket, and after that I want to display the particular data when my second event or second request has been completed, what happened inside the console. So I use this dot response text. This means this one variable, or you can use response request to response text. You will get the same result. Okay, have an error, but I think just a minute. Okay, so inside this one, here's my mistake. I need to pass my neighbor variable, because in the neighbor have a country's data. So serve, and look at that. We are able to see Ken, and I'm able to see Canada details is appeared inside the console. Means it is working perfectly on the request too. Means we have received the data when you will send another request. Cool. So let's convert that into a JSON format. So I'm going to use const data2, and I'm going to pass json.parse. Yeah, I'm going to use this response text, and then I'm going to use the function that we have made on top render country, and I'm going to pass it data2, right? And yeah, so save, and right now as you can see, once you save that, this is United States. The United States neighbor is Canada, and also have a Mexico, but I have used the index number 0 to display the first one. But when you will change that, then you will get Mexico. Also, you can add the condition if some countries have not have any neighbor, so you can use the condition inside there. Well, I use false condition. So you need to use if have any false condition, means doesn't find any neighbor of any country, then just return that. Alright, so I have a mistake in my spelling, but don't focus on that. So write down. But I have a class that we're going to use that to display that as a symbol. So I'm going to close my another tab. So I go to top, and inside that I need to pass the parameter like class name. This is the parameter, so I'm going to get that and assign the variable empty, and I need to pass it inside there. Right, once you pass it, then the next thing is you need to you need to in a minute you need to pass it as a little template and a class name. Once you pass it, then you need to pass inside the render the class name is neighbor, NIGH. So same thing I need to pass on there. So don't focus on that, because this is my spelling mistake. So yeah, have a problem 72, line number 72. So 75, yeah. So all of the right now, as you can see guys, this is my second United States neighbor is Mexico. This is a second index neighbor, but I'm going to use 0. The default I'm going to use 0 right now. But when you will change the country name like Portugal or another country name, so you will get different result. So look at that, Portugal have spent it, right? So this is a usage of the multiple request. But when you will use the multiple request, your application as well display slow, right? Means have a bunch of loading time to load the complete data inside your web page. So it is not good practice to send the bunch of requests in single application. So you can use many other methods that is used to reduce your code. So I will give you an example on that. At this time you just need to know how you can send multiple requests inside your web page. So let's give you another example on that. Yeah, so I'll use set timeout. So let's say I have a set timeout function 1000 seconds. So I'm going to use console.log, and I will give you very practically on that. So I'm going to repeat this one inside there, and this will be 1000 2 seconds. So this is a repetition, right? But you can use ES6 feature like promises, so you will handle that. I will give you an example. I will talk about on that later, but this time you need to know how you can get the 5 seconds. And yeah, first we're going to save it. Let's look at that inside the console. So I'm able to see the seconds is appeared after 1 second, means one by one the seconds have been appeared inside the console, and the same thing have repetition. So you can use the promises to reduce that. So in the next video we're going to discuss all about how you can use promises and how you can use a fetch API. Inside there I've used XML HTTP request to send the request and get the data from API, but after this one video we will use fetch function and also then function to get the data from API, and we're going to use that to reduce our bunch of code. So in the next video we're going to discuss all about that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In the last video we have discussed all about XML HTTP request to get the API data and display the data inside our web page. But now we will use the modern way to get the data from API and display the data inside our web page. So how you can do that? So let's look at that. So this is my previous example. So this time I'm going to use fetch and use parentheses. Inside that we need to pass URL where you want to get the data. So I'm going to get the data from there. Write the country name. That's it. But I want to call that, so I need to create a variable, assign the data inside the request variable, then you need to call the request variable right now and save it. Let's look at that. I'm able to see promise has been appeared inside my console and the status is a pending. I'm going to click on that. Inside that I have a prototype is promise, and I have a status is a fulfilled and response. What is the promise and how does work it? So let's look at that inside our slide. What is that and how does work it, right? In a minute. So promise, the promise object represent the eventual completion or failure or an asynchronous operation and its resulting value. Let's say I have a lottery ticket, means promise that I will receive money if I guess correct number or correct outcome. So step number 1, we need to buy a ticket, means create a promise right now. Once you create that, then the lottery draw happens. It means this is asynchronous. And the third step, if the correct outcome, I will receive the money because it was promised. We no longer need to rely on events and callback passed into asynchronous functions to handle asynchronous result. Instead of nesting callbacks, we can chain promises for a sequence of asynchronous operations, skipping backhaul. So let's look at that. How does work it? Means in a starting time when you will create a promise, you have seen inside our console screen the status of the promise is pending. So this is a synchronous task, and once asynchronous task has been completed, then it will settle. Asynchronous task has finished, it will settle. After that, have a two method fulfilled, means you will get the correct result or you will get the result, otherwise you will not get the result from the particular API or particular server. Once you get the success result, the success value will now appear inside your web page. Otherwise, if you not getting the result from the API, you will get the reject and it will display the error inside your console or inside your web page. So let's look at that, the same example that we have seen on earlier, like lottery ticket. So I have a lottery ticket. In starting time, the lottery ticket is a pending right now. If my lottery ticket will win, then I will get the money. Otherwise, I will lose the money. So we are able to handle these different states in our code. So we can handle that. So let's talk about the consume promise. When we really have a promise easy, means example promise written from API to build a promise, and we're gonna use the fetch API to return the promise. So we're gonna use same structure to getting the data from API, and we're gonna display the data inside our console screen, but we're gonna use the latest technology like ES6 to display the data inside our console or inside our web page by using fetch method. And also inside the fetch method have many other things, so we're gonna discuss them step by step. So in the next video we're gonna cover that all of the properties or values using fetch method. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're gonna discuss all about how we can use promises to getting the data from API and display the data inside our web page. So we're going to cover all of the stuff that we have used on there: consuming promises, chaining promises, handling rejected promises, throwing errors manually. So we're going to discuss step by step all of the things that I have used on there, right? So let's look at that, how we can display the country's data using fetch method, or you can say that promises using JavaScript. So I will create a function const and write the function name country data. So I've used this one because I will get the URL on there. So inside there I need to pass the parameter that will help us to display the country name inside the parameter, right? Then I'm going to use fetch method, use parentheses, and inside that I need to use literal template. And I'm going to passing this one complete URL, paste on that, right? Once you will fetch the data in a minute, I will show you. I'm going to use const request. Now I will use console.log. In the starting time you will get the pending result. Remember that we have seen on earlier. So I'm going to use USF. So let's look at that. Right now promises is pending right now, and we are able to see the result is a fulfilled, means we have successfully received the data from API. If we will successfully receive the data, or we will receive the error inside our console screen. But in this time we have received the data fulfilled, means we can use the promises to display the data inside our web page. So let's look at that, how we can do that. So I'm going to comment that, and also I don't need this one because I just use fetch. After the parentheses you need to use then. This is also a method that is used to return the data. After the then, this is the then, and it is callback function. Inside that you need to pass the function that will return the data. Which data? means you will get the successful data and display the data inside your web page. So you need to use then method. Inside the then method you need to use function and passing the parameter that is used to display the data. So you can use this one parameter to display the data inside our web page. So use curly brackets. Inside the curly brackets you need to use but I'm gonna change the name like response. You can use any name as you want. Inside the parentheses curly bracket, I'm going to use the console.log. Let's see what happened when we will get the successful response or successful result inside our console. Right now I am able to see the response has been appeared inside there, and also have a mini data like okay, status is 200 means you have successfully received the data. But I'm gonna interested on this one body. I'm gonna click on that. I'm able to see this is a readable stream, means the data is appeared inside the body. So we need to convert that into JSON format. Then we're gonna use the JSON format to display the data inside our web page. So let's look at that, how we can do that. We have successfully received the data, perfect. Then I need to use response, this one parameter, and you need to use JSON function. The JSON function is auto callback function, means you will get the JSON format result. So you need to use return keyword, but also you need to display the data inside your web page. So you need to use another time then method to display the data inside your web page. First we're gonna remove this one. So after this one parenthesis, you need to use then method one more time, and you need to use same thing, passing the parameter data. This time you will get the data. Once you use this one then method to get the data from API and display the data in JSON format. But once you use the response.json format function, then you need to convert that into normal text or normal object. So you need to use then function and passing the parameter. Once you pass the parameter, then let's look at that what happened after converting the format and JSON format. Then you will get the same result that we have seen on earlier. Right now, as you can see, in the zero index I have a name and country's detail and so on and so forth. So let's look at that once more time. So this is the API. This function is get the result. After that you will get the success result, then this block will execute. After that you will convert the data with the help of JSON function. JSON function is also return callback function. So you need to use one more time then method and use callback function to display the data inside your web page. So let's look at that. To display the data inside our web page, so I'm going to call the data and use array and 0. So and look at that. We have seen the country name and country detail inside our web page using fetch method. Perfect. So I'm going to comment that, and also first we're going to copy that and comment that. So I'm going to reduce the code as well. I'm going to remove that. So this is very simple code, but earlier we have used this one code and use add email listener and so on so far to display the data inside our. But it is very simple and clean code that I use same thing to display the data inside our console screen with the help of fetch method. Perfect. So let's reduce this one. So I'm going to remove that and use arrow function. Also remove this one and use arrow function. And yeah, just a minute. Right now, in a minute, I will remove all of the things because I will display only one line code. Response. This will be just a minute. Yeah, it's perfect. And yeah, I'll use same thing on there, like done. Yeah, this one as well. And then this one. Just a minute, I use parentheses and remove that. And yeah, I think yeah, okay, just a minute guys, just a minute, I will undo that because I will use a without function. In a minute, I will share with you in a minute. Right now, this is a simple code. So just use arrow function, you will get the same result right now inside our web page. But I'm going to try to remove all of the curly brackets, and yeah, I will try it, and yeah, I'll try it to display the response, but I will remove that. This one, I don't need to return the data, and after that I think I need to use that, and I'll try it. And that's the same thing, perfect. But I reduce the code right now, and also I will reduce this one code as well. Country right now, right, cool. This is a very simple and short code. You will get the same result right now, but I use the arrow function without writing the function keyword inside our web page. So I hope you are understood as well all about fetch function and how you can get the result if your result data will receive. Otherwise we will work on the later if you will not receive the result from API, what happened and how you can manage that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In the last lecture we have discussed all about promises, usage of fetch and then method to display the API data inside our web page. As we know all about the consume promises, but we need to work on the chaining promises. So we're gonna use same tactics that we have used on earlier using XML HTTP request. Means we're gonna send multiple requests using fetch method. So how you can do that? So I will display the neighbor of the country using multiple fetch requests. So let's do that. So this is Brando. So I need to use, first I'm going to cut that and use curly bracket on that, and we need to paste that, right? After the parentheses you need to use then, no, I will use terminator to stop the program right now. Then we need to get the neighbor and store the neighbor inside our variable. So create a variable neighbor and use data index 0. Inside the index 0 have our borders and the index number also 0, because I want to display only one neighbor of the particular country, right? And I will use condition if I have a not neighbor of any country, then return the code. After that I will send the request. I'm going to use country 2. I will send another request to get the neighbor from my API. So I go to top of my page and like there. So I need to get that with neighbor variable. So inside that I need to use fetch backticks and pass that. So the neighbor variable is assigned on there to get the neighbor from API, right? Then we need to use same tactics that we have used on earlier, like convert the data into JSON format. Once we connect that, then we're gonna display the data with the help of data function, right? So let's do that. So I'm gonna remove that and I'm gonna use time parentheses. I'm gonna use response. This is my parameter that used to convert the text into JSON format. Once you convert that, then once again you need to use time and passing the parameter like data. You can pass any parameter as you want inside this one or inside this one. After that, you need to call the particular country function. Means we have made the function name, we have made the function top of my page like that. So you need to get that and paste it. After that, you need to pass the first one parameter is data, the second one parameter is your class name. So I'm going to use class name is my like that, so and JSON. Just a minute, I'm going to find out where 141 like this. So response.json and then data render country data mode. Right now guys, we need to use return keyword to return the data from there. Then it should be displayed the neighbor on the page. Right now, as you can see, means you will return the neighbor data with the help of fetch method. Then you will convert that using a JSON function, and after that you will display the data inside your web page using a render country function. So inside this one area, I have a send second request. So this is my fetch method. Inside the fetch method have another fetch method. It is similar like earlier we have used the multiple send request using XML HTTP request. So inside that you need to use simple fetch method inside the fetch method to get the neighbor data and return the data inside our fetch method. Then you need to convert that. If you will use any return like that, and inside that I don't need to convert that. I just use console.log and I'm going to use response like this one parameter. Then you will get this one result. But I also use first we're going to save it, and right now as you can see guys, means you will return any data inside there. Then you just pass the particular parameter inside the console or inside the alert. Let's use alert. Then it should be displaying inside our alert box. Right now as you can see, whatever you number enter inside there. So I use the return keyword to get the data from API and convert that into JSON format, and the data will appear inside your web page right now. So this is called chaining promises. So so guys, I hope you understood as well all about the promises and chaining promises. In the next video we're going to discuss all about how we can handle the errors, or you can say that the second part of the promises, the first part has been completed, means we have successfully received the data from API. Then we're gonna discuss all about the negative or error based part, means when you will get the no data from API. So what happened and how you can handle that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about the rejected promises or you can say that how you can handle the errors. So we have seen the fulfilled means you have successfully received the data from API and display the data inside your web page or inside your console, right? But the next thing is very important. What happens, you will not receive the data from API. So how you can handle the errors and how you can manage that. So let's look at that. It is called rejected promises. So I go to my code editor and I'm going to uncomment my button tag, and I already mentioned this one in my top to get the data and assign the data inside my variable. So I'm going to use the button at one listener. When user will click on the button, then I will run the function. Inside the function I will get that and paste on it. So first we're going to refresh my page, click on that. I am able to see countries have been appeared inside there. Perfect. So what happened if I lost my internet connection? So let's look at that. First we're going to refresh my page and go to network tab, and I'm going to select offline, go to console and click on that, but I need to refresh it. Click on that. Okay, it's my problem right now. So I'm going to clear my cache because I will show you the error. Clear cache, and last one, close my browser. One more time I'm going to open that, and I'm going to open the console. Right now I'm able to see offline, so click on that. Right now, as you can see, the error has been appeared inside my web page, inside my console. Like fetch, failed fetch means you can't fetch the data from API. So how you can manage that? So let's look at that. So I go to my code editor. Inside that, this is our first parameter is response.json, but it is called fulfill. But the next one is you can pass any other parameter and you can handle the error inside your web page or inside your console where you want to display the error. So I need to use comma. So I need to pass the second parameter, means rejected promises. So write any name as you want. So I'm going to use error, use curly brackets. Inside that, first we're going to save it. So this is a parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis you need to pass the any name as you want. In my case I'm going to use error inside the curly brackets. So let's look at that, the error inside the console, inside the alert box. First we're going to save it, refresh my page, click on that. Right now I'm able to see failed to fetch error has been appeared inside my alert box, but still you can't see the error like a fetch the in a minute. Failed to fetch, you can't see inside your console. So you have successfully handled the error using second parameter, right? Means rejected promises. So also you can use the same thing to passing the second one parameter on there, and inside that you need to use same thing like that you have used on there. So I'm gonna use normal and click to everything is clear, perfect. But I'm gonna refresh one more time, and it is issue all about my browser cache. So I'm gonna try to yeah, it's up here one more time. Yeah, so I'm gonna open my history one more time. Just a minute. Just a minute, because it is very important. Close it one more time. I'm going to close that, open that, open my, and let's look at that. The network tab, offline, perfect. So click on that. Right now failed to fetch, and also have a second error has been appeared, can't read the property and undefined zero index. Right now, but this is a optional, you don't focus on that. I will manage that on later. This time you need to know how you can handle the error, right? So inside there I have passed the parameters like a second parameter, and also have a second parameter. But do you want to display only one line code to handle all of the errors which appeared inside our complete code. Let's say, so this is my first one, then this is my second one, then third and fourth. So I want to use only one method that handle all of the error which include inside my complete code. So how you can do that? So let's look at that. So I'm going to remove this one and also remove this one line. I will use same thing that have earlier, like this one. So right, so after the complete or last one, then like this, so you need to remove the terminator sign, and then you need to use catch. Inside that you need to pass the one parameter like error, and you can call it console.log. So this time I'm going to use console. So it will handle all of the error which appeared inside this one or inside this one or inside this one, everywhere inside our code. So this function will help us to handle the errors. Save and refresh my page. Click on that. Right now I'm able to see failed to fetch error has been appeared inside my console. Right? So this is a call rejected promises. Means if you receive the data, that's perfect, the data is appeared inside your web page. Otherwise, what happened, you can't receive the data. So you can use the rejected promises to handle the errors. Perfect. So finally, and last thing is very important. So after the catch, I will use the finally keyword, and it will always run whatever happened inside your fetch function. Means you have received the data or you not received the data, this block will execute. So inside that I'm going to pass empty, because I just, and I'm always running. What happened? Rejected or fulfilled. This block will execute. I'm always running right now. Right, so save, and I'm going to refresh my page. Click on that. Right now, as you can see, I'm always running right now. But when I will open the internet and refresh my page, click to this button. Right now I'm able to see the country's data have been appeared inside there, and also here I'm always running right now. Cool. But the important thing is, do you want to display the inside your web page? So yeah, so I'm gonna use first I'm gonna comment that, but before commenting that I will add the important thing like this one, country opacity. But before using that, I will create a function, const function, and I'm passing the parameter. So inside that I'm going to select my container, countries container dot insert AdSense text, right? And I'm going to beforehand, and then I'm going to pass in the message, and also I'm going to use the opacity like this one is 1, right? So what happened, I'm going to use this one function. So this is a curve, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to calling that inside error. In a minute, and I'm going to passing this one object right now. Save, and I'm going to refresh my page, and I'm going to go to offline and click on that. Okay, offline, refresh my page, click on OK. Just a minute, I will use one more time because click on that right now. So what happened on there, so I need to one more time clear my cache and clear that. Fetch my page, I'm offline, click on that. I'm able to see fetcher, but I can't see the fetcher inside my page. Just a minute. Insert text and passing the parameter before and message opacity is 1 const display, so I'm gonna use display maybe. Yeah, perfect. Okay, guys, everything is perfect on there, but I don't know why I can't see the result inside. Okay, I will write some text inside there. Something wrong. So I think it should be display, but I need to change my function name. Arrow display. So yeah, it's perfect. Save and yes, online, refresh page, click on that. Perfect. But when I will go to offline, refresh, click on that. Okay, guys, I want to display the message inside my web page. So let's look at that one more time. I'm offline, click on that. Right now I'm able to see something wrong, and this is a typo error. Failed message, failed to fetch message has been appear inside my web page. Right now you can't see the message inside the console. So this is simple usage of that. So it is my browser issue. Sometimes we are facing the cache problem, so you need to fix that to remove the cache from your browser, right? And yeah, it's perfect. And finally I will use, so in both functions have a container style.opacity like that. So I'm gonna comment out and I'm gonna comment out that. So I just get that and I'm gonna paste it inside the finally function like that. What happened to display the countries or not display the countries, this block will execute. So you will face the error, you will get the result. This block execute. You can't see anything else because the opacity is appeared inside my final block, right? So this is the usage of the rejected promises, or you can say that how you can handle the promises errors using JavaScript. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're gonna discuss all about how we can handle the errors manually. Means we're gonna display our own message inside our web page. Let's say, so I enter the country name is USA, but I will enter something wrong inside the country, and the country doesn't exist inside the world, right? So I go to my web page and open that. I'm able to see currently the property undefined and so on and so forth, like flight, but I want to display the readable message inside that. So let's look at that, how we can do that. I go to my code editor. So we need to handle the first one error on there. So I need to use curly brackets, and before the JSON format converting, I also remove this one. Let's look at that, what happened when I will use console.log and I use response and let's look at that, what you will get the data inside console. So I'm going to click on that. I'm able to see the response, the body, and the status is okay, means this is a key, and value is a false, means you can't get the particular country name. And also have a status code is a 404. 404 means not found, and also have a same text like there. So I want to display the readable message inside there. I can't see the readable message right now inside our web page, like undefined and reading 0 like that. So let's look at that, how we can add the readable message. So I'm going to comment that, and I'm going to select my response, where it is, in a minute, like this one. Response is okay, is means we have received the data. So I'm going to use if statement, and I'm going to use not response dot okay, means if the value is false, means I can't get the country name or country data, so I need to display the error. So I'm going to use throw new and create object of the error. Inside that I'm going to add the message, whatever the message I want to display inside my web page. So let's say I will use country not found. This is a readable message right now. And after that I'm going to use parentheses and $sign curly brackets. Then I'm going to use response dot status. This is a basically status that are used to display the message inside our web page. So save, and let's look at that. Right now, as you can see, something wrong, and I think something went wrong. So I'm going to use something. And my this message is concatenate our this one catch block, and the catch block and our throw error message has been appeared inside there. So let's look at that one more time. Something went wrong. So this is message coming from there, right? And when it will get the error on this one blocks, then my not found error has been appear inside my web page, right? So it is called manually handle the error, and you can use same thing to display the. So let's say I'm gonna add just a minute, I need to check that. Okay, I need to use return keyword on there because we need to return the JSON format data to display the country's data. So let's look at that. Perfect. But when you will get the invalid or doesn't exist the neighbor, like that, so, and I'm able to see the state or particular country name, but I can't see the neighbor. So you need to fix that using this way. So let's use that. So I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna just calibrate it, paste it. Just a minute, I'm gonna find out. So I just need to get this one, and we need to use return keyword to return the data. So, and look at that, something went wrong, country not found, and the error name is 400, right? Means can't find the neighbor. So yeah, it's perfect. But important thing is I repeat the so this is a code repeated 2 times, like this one, like there, then response, and also here then response. So I need to reduce my code by using a function. So let's do that, how we can add that. First of all, I will comment that because it is very important to you to understand that. So I'm going to copy that and paste it, right? And comment that, save it. Perfect. So I need to create a function help const get JSON, and inside that I'm gonna use function keyword passing the parameter. The first one is URL, second one is I will display the default message, so I will pass error MSG, and the default message is something went wrong, like this one. So this is a default message, right? Use curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket you need to use return and use fetch. Inside the fetch you need to use the URL or the parameter, then use then keyword or then function, and inside that you need to use response curly brackets. Inside the curly brackets I need to get this one code. Just copy it and paste on there. So this is our function that I use to display the same thing, but I have reduced the code, so I don't need to repeat this one code, this one code and this one code 2 times. So let's handle that. So this is error message, so after that I will use, but before I'm gonna remove that and error message like that. So yeah, so we need to call it. So I need to get that, and we need to use function name. Inside that we need to pass this one URL, right? And the next one is I need to remove this one, right? Perfect. And we're gonna use, first we're gonna check that it's working or not, so I'm gonna save it and let's look at that. Perfect, it's working right now. And yeah, I will use the same thing inside my this one. So I'm gonna use get JSON, and also I will add the message in the second parameter is country not found, right? Because in the JSON format function have a 2 parameter URLs and error message. So the first one is like this one, and the second parameter is a country not found, right? So we're gonna use same thing inside there. So I'm gonna use comma, and so it is neighbor not found. So yeah, I'll use neighbor. Okay, just a minute. Neighbor not found, so like that. And I don't need that, right? Perfect. So let's try it. I'm gonna use random invalid country name and click on that. Something went wrong, country not found. Perfect. But I will use the neighbor not found. So I'm gonna, let's look at that. Something went wrong, something went wrong. I've seen 2 times a repetition, so something went wrong, and the default message like this one. But why I can't see this one right now? Message. Okay, I will use the same message because save, and something went wrong 2 times. Just a minute. Okay. So yeah, I think also no, in a minute I will undo that because I need to check that what is the, yeah, it's perfect. And inside that I don't need to use it because I've written that inside my error message, so something went wrong. Perfect. And default message is completed, but okay, let's try it one more time. Something went wrong means you can use this way to display the different type of message inside it, but I've tried to display this one message. I can't see the message inside our web page. I don't know why, but I will try it and display the different type of messages inside our web page. So this is the usage of manually handle the errors and display the different type of messages inside our web page. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, let's talk about how we can create our own promise. So I'm gonna get the lottery example that we have seen on earlier. So I'm gonna create but before creating a variable, I'm gonna use new promise function, passing parameter 2. First one is the resolve, the second one is the reject, right? After that we need to use curly, but we need to store that inside the variable. So let's store that lottery promise like that. So inside this one block I will use the if else statement to display the different type of message inside our web page. So I'm going to use if math.random parenthesis greater than equal to 0.5, come into the if body, otherwise come into the else body. In the if body I just need to use resolve function. Inside that I need to add the text which will display inside our console. So let's undo this. So you have won the lottery like that. In the else statement we need to pass the reject function. So this is a resolve function that we have used on there, and we need to use the reject if we will lost the money. So I'm going to use you have lost money like that, right? So save, but we need to call that. I'm going to use lottery promise dot then parenthesis, one more parenthesis. Inside that I need to pass the parameter, and we need to use the console.log to display the message inside our web page. And after that I need to use the dot catch to display the, so yes, in a minute. So catch and yeah, I'm gonna use console dot log and right. So once you save that, then you need to open your I think I have a mistake inside my page. So this catch I think have parenthesis issues, so I'm gonna in a minute I will use then. So resolve console.log. So I'm gonna grab that because right. So I'm gonna paste that and dot catch. Yeah, I think it is no. This is closing on there. So, and I think it should be displayed. Yeah, you lost the money. When I refresh the page, you lost the money, and you have lost the money one more time, but you will get another message you have in the meaning, because I've used that met.random greater than or equal to 0.4, means when it will get the true result, then when this message will appear, otherwise this message will appear inside our console screen. So this is our own promise we have made on there, right? So yeah, let's add that. First I'm going to use console.log. Let's add more fun on there. Lottery draw is happening, that, and then I'm going to use set timeout, and pass that. But we need to use the time on there, like 2 seconds. So let's look at what happened. You win the lottery. Refresh it. Lottery draw is happening. You win the lottery. So you need to wait more than 2 seconds to display the particular result inside our web page. So this is called promise, right? So let's do the like this one example. So I'm going to get that, but this time I'm going to use asynchronous, or you can say that catch method. So we have used the set timeout bunch of times. This is called chain wise code, right? But I'm going to use the promise to display the same result but reduce the code, and we don't need to use the callback hall, right? So let's do that to display those type of data inside our web page. So let's create a wait function passing the parameter seconds, use curly brackets, then I'm going to use return keyword to return the data. So new promise parentheses, inside that I'm going to pass only one parameter that will resolve. I don't need to display the rejected inside there. So I'm going to use set timeout like that, and I'm going to use 200 seconds inside that. No, set time out. Just a minute. I will use set time out, and I'm gonna pass the parameter like resolve, this one that's come from there, and the second parameter I'm gonna pass that is seconds, and I'm gonna use times by 1000, means 1 second. So when I call this one function, we need to pass the value. So copy and paste it, and I'm going to use wait 1 second, but we need to use the then method to display the data inside our web page, right? So calling that console.log, and I'm going to use wait. I'm going to use 1 second. This is password, but I'm going to use 1 second. 1 second, right? And also we need to use return wait and passing the parameter 1, right? So one more time I need to use the then method to display the data inside our web page. So I need to use same thing that I've used on top of my page, but before using the same technique we need to use the then method like that. So I waited for 5 seconds like that. So save. So I just need to get that and paste it, and we need to just change the 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will be 6. For save it, let's look at that. 1 second, this is my message. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and 6 seconds. So this is a usage of the promises chain wise. Just use one time message function that we use to display the second wise data inside our web page. So finally I will use the resolve and reject promises to display the instant or result inside our web page. So let's do that. So I'm going to use promise dot resolve learning JS. I want to use that method, passing the parameter like a. I pass the data. I'm going to use console.log and I'm going to pass the data. Right, once you pass that, then you need to use promise to reject, and inside that I'm going to use new.error problem, something went wrong, like that. And after that I need to use catch. Inside that I'm going to pass the same thing, console.log. I'm going to pass the error. Right, so cool. So this is the same thing that I've used on my top page, like this one, and this is another same thing that I used on there. So first we're gonna save it and let's look at that. Learning JavaScript. This comes from my this one, and the second one is something went wrong, and this is my line number error has been appeared inside my web page. Right, so this is a usage of creating a simple promises, and I have explained you different ways to use that inside our web page or inside your code editor display the different type of result inside your web page. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about the promises with async and await. So I will teach you how you can use async and await to display the country and also country neighbor using the async and await function, async function in await keyword. So I go to top of my page and I will give you the example on that. So here is a code that is used to display the country and neighbor using then method, catcher, and so on and so forth. But I will use simple and easy way to do the same thing and display the result inside our web page, right? So I'm gonna get this one and I will give you an example. No, I will go to top, and yeah, it's simple. So I just get that and I will teach you how you can do that. Right, so I'm gonna comment out. Right, so first of all you need to create a variable. I'm gonna use country data, right? Any name as you want, and then you need to use function parentheses passing the parameter, use curly brackets, and so inside that you need to pass this one fetch function. Inside that you need to pass the value, right? This is normal. But before using async and await, you need to add few things. The first thing is I need to store the data like this one inside our variable. So const result, right? So what I need to do on there, I need to use the keyword inside that async. This is asynchronous function, and also we need to use await before the fetch method. Then I will use the console.log and result variable that is display the same result that we have used on earlier to display to use the promises. So I'm going to use the USA and look at that. So as you can see, readable stream, so we're going to convert that using JSON format. So let's do that. So I'm going to comment that, and I need to use the create a variable data, and I'm going to use the result like this one because inside that have a data, so you need to convert that, so you need to use JSON. This is a normal way, but you need to also use await, so you will get the same result that you have seen on earlier by converting the JSON function. So let's look at that. Now I'm able to see the data have been appeared inside my console. Perfect. So I want to display those data inside my web page, right? So let's do that. So I'm going to use random country and I'm going to use data and passing the parameter 0. So and look at that. Perfect. We don't need to use the then method and so on so far to display the data inside of it. Just use await, fetch and convert that by using await. Store the data inside the particular variable. I'm going to also remove this one as well, so you will see very short code. So let's do the to display the neighbor inside our web page. So I'm going to use neighbor like that. So create a variable const and we need to get the neighbor data from our data variable. So I need to do create a variable neighbor and we need to use data 0 dot borders 0. Once you get the data, then you need to create another variable. So I'm going to use neighbor URL, and inside that you need to use same thing, await, fetch, and inside that you need to pass the value, the URL value. So we're gonna get that from top of my page like this one. So just get that and you need to paste on there. This variable is assigned on there, then you can use that to convert it. So let's convert it const and I'm going to convert it as a display neighbor. So I'm going to use neighbor URL .json, but we need to use await on that. That's it. Then we need to call the render country and yeah, I need to display the neighbor, and also we need to add another class that is used to display the symbol type of country, symbol type of neighbor. So neighbor like that. So save and look at that. So let's change the name and comment that is Portugal, and yeah, perfect. So this is the usage of await in a synchronous function inside our JavaScript. So I hope you have understood as well all about that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about error handling using try catch. As we know all about the error handling manually and catch method, but this time I'm going to use try and catch to handle the errors. So let's look at that then. Example without try and catch. So I'm going to create a const and assign the value 50. Then I'm going to create another variable. I just use sample a and reassign the value 100. I'm calling the a. Let's see what happened inside the console. As you can see, an assignment to constant variable and the line number error, so on and so forth, but it is appeared inside the without try catch. But I'm going to cut that and I'm going to use try and catch, and I'm going to use create an object, and I'm going to use calling the error. This is my function that I have made on earlier to display the error message. Inside that I'm going to use backtext something went wrong, and there's a little template, and I'm going to call error, and this is a message which is appeared inside the error object. So inside the try block I'm going to paste that. So let's look at the what happened. As you can see, something went wrong, assignment to constant variable. So error has been appeared inside my web page. So this is usage, simple usage of the try kit, but we're gonna use it inside our main code, means this one code. So yeah, I'm gonna get that this one code, and I'm gonna paste down there, and I'm gonna uncomment that. I don't need that because this is optional. I'll just tell you how you can use that. Save, and we need to uncomment that to display the countries. Perfect. So let's say I will use try catch. So yeah, I need to cut this one block, and I'm going to use try, and after that I need to use catch parentheses calibrate. Inside the try block I need to paste this one code. In the catch block I need to make an object by passing the parameter, and I'm calling the display error function that will help us to display the error. Something went wrong, right? But I don't need to display that because inside my function the default have a same text like something went wrong, right? But inside that I need to just pass an object and a message. So save, and everything is perfect, but when I will use something wrong inside the country, so let's see what happened. Can't read the property of undefined read flag, but it is not readable error. So we need to handle that. You know how you can handle that? Great. So let's look at that. So after the JSON, not dash, after the JSON, I will use if, and I'm going to target my data. This one variable, this data will get the data from API and convert that into an object. Inside that have a result key, so I'm going to target that. If the result is not okay, means have a false, so use the throw and create a new object of the error, and I'm going to write that country not found, like that. Inside that I need to use the result, not data. I need to pass the data. I think no, I need to pass the result. Sorry for that. So inside the result have all of the data. I don't need to display or add that data variable. So inside the result have a status. So you know how I can getting the result from. So first we're gonna share with you. So I call this one and use the complete same detail. I'm gonna calling the result, and you should see the all of the data like this one is as you can see okay, and status is okay, status is 200. So I'm gonna target those keys inside the object. So I'm gonna uncomment that, I'm gonna comment it and uncomment this one. This means if the result is not okay, to display the error message country not found, this message will assign on my catch block. In the catch block you will able to see the error message will appear inside my web page. So save, and I'm gonna write something, save, and let's look at that. Country not found and error number 404 has been appeared inside my web page. Perfect. Let's look at that how we can add the let's say on there we have a neighbor. So I'm going to use const and neighbor, assign the random neighbor. The neighbor doesn't exist, and I'm going to add the country USA. Right now can't read the property undefined reading 0, so it is also not readable. So what I need to do on there, I need to get this one, and I need to comment out, uncomment that, and yeah, I need to paste it after the so inside that I need to pass this one URL and also pass this. Inside that I need to use neighbor not found. So this is another different message that user will able to see inside our web page. Not found. Save, and I'm gonna comment out, uncomment that. So I assign the not readable right now, as you can see, about not found. So it is usage of try and catch. When you will use asynchronous or async and promises, you must be use the try and catch to handle the errors. So I hope you are understood as well all about try and catch. And another thing is, I use the try before the function curly bracket. If you use that outside of there, then you can't see you can't call the function right now outside of the try block. So I need to paste it inside there. Remember that, it is very important. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's look at that, how we can return the values from our async function. So I will give you an example how you can do that, but I will create another function, and I'm going to use display country, and I'm going to use the async function. I'm going to pass in no parameter inside there, right, and use try catch console.log. No, I'm going to use the display function, display function. Inside that I'm going to pass the error like that. So this is my catch block. Inside the try block, I will get the URL from there, and I will get both of the data, and I'm going to paste it, and I need to change the country name like USA. I'm going to add that manually, right? Then the next one is I will select my, also select both of the code and paste on there, right? So save, and I need to get that. You should see our country no. Okay, in a minute I need to open that one more time, because yeah, it's perfect. I'm going to open my console, and I am able to see the country has been appeared inside my web page. But the issue is not the issue, but I'm going to use, first I'm going to connect there, and I'm going to use console.log, and I'm going to use one is paragraph, and after that I'll get the duplicate, and this is a 2, right? So save, and look at that, we are able to see the first and second paragraph text has been appeared inside my console. Perfect. So how I can get the data? Let's say I will add the return value after the throw function or throw error message. So let's say return, I'm going to add you are learning JavaScript like that. I want to display those text inside my console or inside my web page. So how you can do that? You can do that this way. Create a variable data, and I'm going to calling it data. So let's see what happened. We have seen promise has been appeared, but it is pending right now. But I can't see right now the data which I used inside the async function like this one. So how you can do that? So you can use the then method to get the data. So let's do that. First of all, you need to call the function parentheses, use then parentheses, passing the parameter, and just like that, and use console.log. That's it. So as you can see, our first paragraph, second, and this is the third. After displaying the both of values, this one and this one, then my async function has been appeared, async function data has been appeared inside my web page. So it will running behind the scene. Once it will complete first and second, then it must be display the data inside our web page without facing any error. Let's say I will add the error inside this one page. So what happened? So I will add incorrect country name, then it should be moved on the catch block, so we will able to see error, right? So save, let's look at that. As you can see, error country not found. It doesn't move on the written this one text, it move on the catch block to display the error inside our web. So you know how to get the data, let's say written data, inside your web page or inside your console using then method. So this is very simple usage that. So I hope you understood as well all about that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're gonna discuss all about running promises and parallel. Means which will execute first and which will execute the second and third, and how we can manage that using promises all function. So let's look at that. So I have 3 countries. Let's say I will create more than 3 countries data inside our web page. So how I can do this? So let's create the function like get countries, and I'm going to use async function and passing the parameters C1, C2, C3, curly brackets, try, catch, by the way, I already mentioned you all about the message. Message is object of the error. Inside the error have a message object, so you can call that to display the particular error inside your website. So inside that I need to use const, and I'm going to use theta1 await, then I'm going to calling my get JSON function that I made on earlier. Inside that I need to pass my URL of the country like this one, so I'm going to get that. So inside that like that, so I'm going to pass in C1. So this is a data 1, so I'm going to grab that. This will be data 2, this will be data 3, right? Second, third, right? Once you get that, then I'm going to use the console.log, and I'm going to call the theta1.capital. Capital is a key inside the particular object, so I'm going to call that to display the capital inside the each country. So I will mention the countries on later. This time we need to know how we can manage that. Data3.capital, right? Then I'm going to call the function outside of there, and yeah, I'm going to use USA, Canada, and I'm going to add the so save, and I'm going to open that in the live server. It should be display like undefined, undefined. What happened to display the undefined data? In a minute I'm going to check that what is the problem right now. Get countries, C1, just a minute, I'm going to check that. Okay, we need to use array to deconstruct each of the object. Alright, so we're gonna convert that. So I think it should be displayed. Yeah, it's perfect. Washington DC, Ottawa, and Lisbon. Means we are able to see the data is appeared inside it, but which will execute the first one and which will execute the second one. In my code here are USA, Canada, and Portugal, right? So let's refresh your page and go to network tab, refresh your page, and the first one is execute as a USA. It will get the 4 millisecond, then Canada, and then Portugal. But when you will refresh a page, you will see USA, Canada, Portugal. So I want to display the complete content in one time. Means when the page will load, then I want to display all of the countries data inside my web page. So what I need to do on there, I need to use const. I'm going to create a data and await promise all. So inside that I'm going to add the array. Inside the array I will add the get JSON function, and on each JSON function I will get the data one by one. Just a minute. Perfect. And after the first one parenthesis you need to use comma, then you need to get the second one, paste it. Yeah, I need to use just a minute, it is problem right now inside there. So I'm going to get that second time, but we need to change the second one value like this one, and this will be third one. So just change that, right? Once you, I'm going to comment that because I never need that. Once you comment that, store the data inside the data variable, then you can use the data to display all of the content inside our web page. So let's but all of the data display in one time right now, as you can see, and go to network tab and all of the getting same time, like 6 seconds, 6 milliseconds, and it will get the 7 millisecond. But most of the time you will get the same result inside your web page. And another thing is, I want to display those content in an array format inside our object like there. So what I need to do on there, I need to use the map function to extract the data from array. So I'm going to comment that, and I'm going to use console.log. I'm going to target my particular variable, and I'm going to use map, and inside the map we need to pass the parameter, like you can pass any parameter as you want. I'm going to use display arrow function, calling the display, and inside the display have a 0 index number, and I'm going to getting the capital from the countries. So look at that, the same result, Washington DC, Ottawa, and so on and so forth, right? So this is usage of promise all. You can use that to display all of the data in one time on your web page. So let's look at that in the network tab. As you can see, all of the data is coming from my API, and display the each data in a minute. Where it is, each data will get 6 seconds, 6 milliseconds to, yeah. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to open one more time, and source right now Washington DC, Ottawa, and so on and so forth. So I hope you are understood as well all about the promise all function that will help us to display all of the data in one time. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.